Hey everybody, this is Curtis from psnstores.com. Today we are looking at Mutant Mudds Deluxe. This game came out last Tuesday. It's $10. It is cross-buy on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita. This is the PS3 version that we're looking at right now. And so we're just gonna jump into a stage and show off some of this game. So you play as Max, and there are these mutant mudds who have invaded your planet. And so it's your job to get rid of them. So you jump, you have a jetpack you can use, and you have this little water gun here. So each stage you're gonna have a time limit, and you're gonna have 100 of these little things that you want to collect throughout the stage. They're usually just kind of littered along the path that you go through to get to the finish. So for the most part, you know, you're gonna and by the time I finished the game, or at least finish all the main levels, I had most of them collected. There was only a few that I really had to go back to and get again. But aside from that, also at the end of each level, there is I believe they're called sprites, that are like the goal of the level, and you need to get those to eventually get rid of all the mutant mudds. So as you, like, kind of the big thing with this game is, as you see already, like, you can travel between different planes in the game. So you see in the background, there's a whole different part of the level that we're going to get to very soon. And so here is a jump pad, and you can use this to travel between different planes. There are 3 different planes that you can travel through. Some levels only have 2, but there are definitely, as you progress, you'll find levels with like up to 3 that you'll go through. And I think, you know, as far as the look of the game, I think it's pretty cool to be able to see future parts of a level, like in advance. Something that I found myself liking about some different platformers, especially, I feel like there's been a few this year I've seen do it, where, you know, as you're playing through the level, you'll see in the background just a completely different part of the stage that is maybe later on. And I always thought that was a kind of a cool effect. And it was a good way to kind of like broadcast, like, hey, you know, here's what you're doing right now, but you can already look ahead to see some of the stuff you're going to be doing very soon. And I think one thing that this game does pretty well is that all of the main stages have these hidden levels that you can find. I believe there's 2 in each stage, one that you can reach with Max, and then there was another one where it requires you to have a certain unlockable character, because that character can have 3 special abilities equipped at a time, and you'll need all 3 of those to reach these secret stages. And so with Max, you know, once you get these collectibles in each stage, the 100 of them, once you get enough, you'll be able to unlock secret special abilities. And they're basically power-ups to the abilities you have now. So you'll be able to jump significantly higher, your jetpack will last twice as long, and then your gun will get upgraded as well. And so with Max, you can actually only have 1 of those equipped at a time, whereas the secret characters you unlock can have 3. So you see already in the background, that's one of the secret levels that you can reach. The secret levels are very difficult. They are the main game itself can actually get pretty challenging, but there's the second one right up there as well. But the secret levels, like, they get tough. With Max, they're not too bad, because again, it only requires, you know, it only requires one upgrade to actually reach those, and usually those aren't as difficult. But when you take on the ones that maybe require, you know, one of your unlockable characters, because you need all 3 of the special abilities, those get really tough, because those require you to use all 3 of them. And you know, I won't be able to show any of these in this video, but there are definitely levels where, like, you'll have to, you know, jump and then hover across a gap, and then almost the entire level is covered in spikes, and so you'll have to do your high jump to get to another area. And so it's a lot of like doing a lot of crazy things to avoid spikes and avoid enemies, and it's just generally very difficult, but also very rewarding. And so you have now you see I've went to this totally different area, and these are ghost levels, and so these stages are kind of slightly remixed versions of the main levels in the game. I think maybe layout wise there might be some differences, but for the most part they're pretty much the same level. But the main difference here is that your enemies are ghosts, so your weapon does not have any effect on them. And so, you know, kind of the thing with these levels is that you don't have the freedom to just kill these enemies and not have to worry about them anymore. And there's also maybe some additional enemies in the ghost stages that were not there in the main ones. So it's just, you know, typically a lot harder, because there's a lot more things that you need to watch out for and avoid. But what you do have, since your gun does not affect these ghosts, you can have this special, let's call it a Ghostbuster, that you can use, and that can take out these ghosts. But the thing here is that they're not gone forever. They will come back, and usually you have maybe a few seconds until they are back. And so you have to be pretty careful about that. So yeah, this game is actually a lot harder than I expected it to be. I didn't expect it to be like a cakewalk or anything, but some of the stages in this game it took me a while to finish, which was not something I expected. I'm happy that that's how that is, because I think this game is very rewarding, and I like that it's a very challenging game. It proved to be a lot of fun, just in general. I had a blast playing it. But I'm just died again. That's great. Something it reminded me of, so last year, at the end of last year, Knit Underground came out, and I reviewed that, and one thing that game had is they had these, like, secret levels that you could go to, and they were just very difficult platforming stages. And those levels required you to, you know, take all of the abilities that you had throughout the game that you were using, and basically it was like, okay, this game really isn't strictly a platforming game. There's a lot of platforming in it, but on these special levels, we're gonna just have you use all of these abilities you have throughout the game, and give you some very extremely challenging stages to kind of get through. And that game was very good about having these challenges that, you know, put to use all of the abilities you had in some really cool ways, and that made it just challenges that were very, very rewarding once you finally were able to get through them. And so Mutant Mudds, these special levels are very similar, and that, especially the ones that require, like, the hidden character, those are stages that require you to use all of your upgraded abilities in tandem with each other. And it's just a lot of fun. Like, it's just a lot of fun to be able to do that. So, and those are things that it's gonna take you some time to complete them and finish them. And so this is definitely something I could see, you know, even though I've already, you know, 100%ed it on the Vita, like, I could see myself coming back to it if I ever just want, like, a pretty good challenge. Like, I could see that happening. So I will say, this game came out on 3DS and the Wii U. The 3DS version was like the original game, and the Wii U was the deluxe version that we're playing right now. I never played in either of those. I'm kind of curious because of the way the game uses different planes. I am kind of curious as to what, you know, the 3DS version was like, with the 3D, like the 3D effect turned on. Like, I feel like that could be something that would be really cool. But, obviously that's not something that, you know, the Vita has. But, I'm curious, because I imagine that probably would be a pretty cool effect to have, especially for a game like this. But also, apparently, like, the 3DS version didn't have checkpoints, which is interesting, because if you pause it, you can just turn checkpoints off. And that sounds like the game is already hard enough. That sounds brutal. I don't know, like, that sounds pretty crazy, but, that's probably gonna do it. This is, again, Mutant Mudds Deluxe. It is out now on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita. Again, it's just $10. It's cross-buy. You know, as I mentioned before, the cross-saving isn't, hopefully it's fixed. You know, right now it's not working, which sucks. But, hopefully that gets fixed very soon, if not by the time that this video is up. But that's gonna do it. Again, if the review isn't up right now, it should be up very soon. I love this game. I think it's fantastic. I don't really have any negative things to say about this, aside from the saving stuff right now. But that should be fixed soon. So hopefully it's not an issue within the next day or so. But other than that, again, you know, thanks for watching the video. Check out the review when it's up, and then, you know, stay tuned to PSN stores for more anything PlayStation Network.